So we rejoined Jim on day 47, and it's the usual routine. Wake up, get the motives up. This time we invite Brooke Downey over. She accepts the invite, and also brings some friends over. As you can see, we got a pretty full party here today. So make sure to greet everyone so that they stick around for a little while, play some guitar to get that relationship boost on their side. Then comes the typical serve everybody food so that we get a nice conversation and kind of start making relationship points on our end. I go ahead and have Jimbo stay home from work today. Of course, we don't answer the phone because we know what that's just going to say. And after a pretty fun day, it looks like, we are by ourselves by 8 p.m. While Jimbo was asleep, I decided to swap out his crappy shower for a brand new one. My first choice was the first actual shower in the catalog, but then I decided on the next highest one up because A, I had the money, and B, I really didn't see the point of just stair-stepping it up if I could afford to go straight for the best one. Anyway, after waking up, we played a little guitar and then call Rowan and talk to him to get the social need up. And then the usual food and cleaning things up instead of the maid because Jimbo is actually a neat sim. Basically just training the rest of the motives until I send them off to work. After I get home, we just grab the bills. And then we get a prank call early in the morning before doing a little bit of painting and having some breakfast. Of course, washing the dishes, I end up breaking the sink, so we have to call a repairman for that. We don't have to, but I don't really feel like having him fix it. We end up calling Brooke Downey again, inviting her over. The usual ensues, everybody grabs food.
This is fucked up.
And then the relationship system rears its ugly fucking head. Anyway, play some more guitar to boost it on her end some more. Of course, she goes home. And as Jimbo wakes up before daybreak, we go through the same routine again. Just have him watch some TV here. A little bit later in the day, I sell the couch for a really nice one. Or the love seat, rather. And I send Jimbo off to work, which he very nearly missed. I always like the jog they do when they're super close to missing work. Next day, same routine, except this time we call Brooke and invite her over. Have a little bit of conversation before serving food, which ends up being cans of beans because she decided to stand in front of the food processor. Play some guitar to impress her with our mad 6-string skills. And of course watching some TV. Now I have Jimbo take a shower, and the shower breaks after the classic Sims 1 bathroom shuffle, and this time instead of calling a repairman, I go ahead and have him fix it. And then it's off to bed. Next day, more of the same. Eat, call a neighbor. This time we call Eldon Hick over. Now, keep in mind, I had Jimbo skip work yesterday. This will be important. Of course, we have the usual little chat. Woohoo! After deciding to skip work, I go ahead and dazzle Eldon with my 6-string flute-fingered wizardry, and we get a phone call. Yeah, so Remember how I had him stay home from work yesterday? Yep, 2 days in a row.
Take that, depression!
I mean, at least the consolation prize is he becomes a family friend again. Although, you know, downside is Jimbo pisses himself.
Excuse me. What?
And Eldon goes home tired. But we have a second friend, even though friends are now useless since we don't have an actual job. So I decided to have Jimbo make some gnomes to make up for that now lost income. A little bit later in the day, I sell off these gnomes for actually a pretty nice total. These gnomes netted me $170. Of course, after selling these gnomes and realizing I don't have a job, I decided to search for a talent agent. So after failing in the hacker world, because he didn't bother to show up, Jimbo's gonna try his hand at being a superstar.
You're an inspiration for birth control.
Are you getting annoyed by how unstable his relationships are? Because I sure am. Day 54 is more of the same routine, except instead of going off to work, we actually just stay home and top the motives off even more. After a little while, I decide to have Jimbo go to Studio Town. Not being super familiar with the Superstar expansion, I just go ahead and go to a random lot, and I ask the guide lady about fame.
Wow, that's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them.
Alright, full disclosure time. When I used to play this game, originally I just had the Double Deluxe version, which was the base game and Live Large. So, yeah, I had access to house parties, but I didn't have access to, like, downtown or anything like that. Outside of testing, I've actually never seriously played with the Superstar expansion, so I was in for a few surprises.
Talk soccer!
Basically, a lot of this just comes down to not being sure how the mechanics work. I was not sure how the star system worked or anything like that. In fact, I think the only other thing I really did at this lot was just grab food. I believe I tried one more time to film a video, but I got the same, 4-star thing, so I decided to go to a different lot, which is this sort of karaoke bar. Because, well, I didn't look up a walkthrough or anything, so I had to figure out how to raise my star rating, and first I thought it was just, well, we'll make friends with you. Which is a viable choice, but to get the star rating up ourselves, or for ourselves rather, without making friends and spending a ton of time trying to build relationships with celebrities, I went ahead and had him do some karaoke. And luckily, because both his charisma and his creativity skills are decently high, it worked very well. Getting a star level after, I believe, only like 2 performances. So, this went well, and I just did, a couple of different random karaoke performances after that. Later on, I had him do a little bit of entertaining, and got up to the next star level, which gave us 1 full star. Whoop-de-doo. Still day 54 after coming back home. It's time to basically rebuild his motives, and I start with just having him go to bed. While I was asleep, I went ahead and sold the buffet table from the party and added an exercise machine because I believe I looked and seen he needed body skill, and if he didn't at the time, I anticipated he was going to need it later. And after rebuilding his motives, I just had him work out for a while until I sent him to bed again. Day 55, back in Studio Town, I decide to have him record some music. And I go ahead and start with some jingles, because once again, having not played the expansion that much, I wasn't 100% sure what I could actually do. Of course, we go back for some more karaoke and get another half star on our star rating, so woohoo. I basically just perform until he's too uncomfortable to do it anymore. Next day, we're back to the usual, just building the motives back up. Of course, first I try to work out without thinking about how shitty of a mood he was actually in. After getting his mood up, I send him to work out for a little while. Get at least 1 or 2 more points of body skill, and then after that, I have him pet the stray cat. Mostly just to increase his social, since I didn't really mess with that at all when I was downtown. I had him practice speech for a little while to up his charisma, and then we go through the same rigmarole of building the motives back up. Day 57, we just go through the same routine. So today, I don't actually call another sim in the morning, I just go ahead and rebuild all his motives so that we can take an early morning trip to Studio Town, and he can get a decent amount of jingles and other things done in the course of the day to make us some more money. And it's back to the old grind in the studio. Unfortunately, not all his jingles are hits, which kind of sucks, but when your mood starts going into the tank, that's just kind of how it is. Of course, we head back to the karaoke bar for a little bit of extra cash. And a boost to our star rating, so now we are a 2-star celebrity. So the only problem now is I actually do have to make friends with a celebrity because I need 2-star power in my friends. And basically what that means is it just replaces the friends requirement that your normal jobs would have, except you have to befriend celebrities instead. And of course I wasn't sure at the time, but it ended up being basically talk to anybody that has somebody as a last name, and those are pretty much all typically low-level celebrities, the ones you can actually talk to anyway. We go from recording jingles in the studio to doing more karaoke performances for little bits of extra cash. And of course back home, same day, even though it's night, because of how lot times work in this game, we just kind of go through the whole rigmarole of rebuilding his motives. At this point, I didn't realize until I made that call that you can only go to Studio Town once a day, so that did help me in the long run, because that helped me keep me days straight. So if you see that celebrity with the star perpetually over their head there, those are maxed out celebrities, and if you're too low a level, you can't actually talk to them. You can basically only ask them for an autograph. Of course, we do some more karaoke to earn a little bit of pocket change here and there. Now, unfortunately, I hadn't realized at this point that I absolutely had to make a celebrity friend to work my way up further in the ranks. I just thought that having the skills that I needed was enough, which I should have known better, having played a lot of The Sims. But eventually, just head back and do the same thing. Just get the needs back up and enjoy the rest of my day at the house. And after getting him in a good mood, we go to spend some time building skills. The great thing about The Sims Unleashed letting stray pets walk all over your yard is when his social need is low, we don't typically have to go very far for interaction. Of course, another visit by the raccoon on day 60 while we're making breakfast. But, you know, it's just uneventful as usual. After getting his motives up, I just pretty much spent the rest of the morning until daylight getting his charisma skill up. In Studio Town for the day, I decided to have him try his hand at a little bit of acting. and of course his skills were not well received. Well, at least the first try, anyway. Second try got us some money. Later on was just getting a little bit of food, kind of try to build his motives up a little bit more, and then back to some more acting. And then basically after he was in too bad a mood to continue acting, I ran around and tried to socialize with other people. Mostly just to build contacts for the phone so I could call people over to start building actual friendships with them. Of course, back at the house, day 60, just same old routine, rebuild the motives after waking up from bed. And I managed to set the house on fire yet again. At some point, I decided to buy a satellite dish because I knew it would give the TV more channels, so I found out that it adds, I think, like 3 or 4 more. And luckily, he actually found one he liked with the news channel. You know, he's supposed to be nice and playful, but, oh man, if you're laughing at the evening news, I'm not too sure about your mental state there, buddy. Next day, we go to the spa, mostly just to try to, you know, meet people and kind of start relationships, but not really work on them in any actual capacity. At one point, I go up top to have him do a spa bath. I don't remember what that one was. And I try to have him get in the hot tub to socialize, which was fine for a little bit. And then we go to do some swimsuit modeling. Because why the hell not? I thought this social interaction was gonna go way fucking sideways, but luckily it didn't. I guess with him being playful, he's really receptive to that. But anyway, this is where we're gonna call it for this video, so if you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.